posted in a question and she's asking, I've recently been advised by a gynae clinic to move the site of my gel from arms to thighs before I increase my dose. I'm using the inside of my arm to rub on so that there's no waste, to rub on the thigh so there's no wastage. I am on 1.5 milligrams of Sandrina. I feel sticky on my arms and thighs for longer than my outer arm, so feel it may not be absorbing in the same way. My hot flashes have increased as well, but also I have a cold, so I guess it could be that. Although like clockwork every morning around 4 or 5 a.m., that's when the flushes are really driving her crazy. How long should I give it before I really do think about increasing? And actually, can the application site of estrogen gels make any difference at all?
Yes, yes, and yes, I think is the answer. I
Right.
think what we know about menopause care is it's very individual. So what works for one person doesn't necessarily work for the next person. And even when we follow kind of common sense rules, sometimes people will be outliers on that. So it's interesting she's been changed. It's been suggested that she changed from arms to legs. I'm wondering if maybe that's due to a little bit of breast tenderness or other side effects, or if they're worried that they were monitoring blood tests and they were getting very high levels of estrogen. So those would be the couple of reasons why people might be advised to change from arms to legs. Obviously, I can't give specific advice without knowing all the details, but generally, if you've moved to legs and you're not feeling so well, that would suggest you're not absorbing it. I think we know our bodies best. So I think have confidence that if you feel it's not working, it's probably not working for you. Any change of dose or change of site may take a couple of months to settle. So you might, but I think if you've moved the site, stayed on the same dose and it's working less well, that would suggest you're not absorbing it. So you could go up to 2 milligrams. 2 to 3 milligrams would be considered a high dose on the Sandrina. You could keep on the thigh, or you could go back to the arms. You might want to speak to your doctor about the reasons that they suggested the switch. And if nothing's working, then considering estrogel or considering patches, looking at the absorption. It does suggest if it's like clockwork in the morning, it suggests it's wearing off at that point sooner
Yeah.
than it was when you applied it somewhere else. So I think you know your body, you know what worked. This isn't working for you. Any change, give it a little bit of time, but if it's gone backwards rather than gone forwards, I think speak to your doctor and see what you can do about that.
Thanks, Sam. Would it, out of interest, would it make any difference? Obviously, some people are hairier than others. So if you've got light hairs on the outside of your arm, would those hairs have any impact on absorption? So
It's a good
often
question,
the
isn't it?
inside is.
I don't actually know if it's linked to hair. I think it is linked more with thickness of the skin. So you would find inner thigh, generally you absorb better than outer thigh. Outer thigh is often easier to kind of smooth it on quickly. Inner thigh, a little bit thinner. Inner arm, again, a little bit thinner skin than outer arm.
Okay.
But yes, so I think if she was absorbing much better on her arms, the skin's probably there's some difference there. But the hair growth is interesting. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's linked with hair.
Yeah.